Thank you. Well, police say heroin use is on the rise, and it's not only stretching the resources of law enforcement.
It's taking a human toll as well. News 18's Kelly Roberts joins us with the stories of two recovering addicts in the second part of her series, Heroin in the Heartland. Kelly.
Yeah, Jeff and Gina, if I would have met Brandon Ertl and Sean Rupert 20 years ago, I would not think they would end up having a lot in common. But both are recovering heroin addicts, and they're both trying to live the life they missed while on the drug. 26-year-old Brandon Ertl grew up in a Hancock County home, regularly going to church.
Because of the way my parents brought me up, I was in church my whole childhood, and just the whole stigma with drugs and people that use drugs was that, I guess, looking back on it, I consider myself better than that.
29-year-old Sean Rupert grew up in a Montgomery County home. He says he was not raised in church. He saw the worst effects of drugs at a young age.
Had a good friend, Amanda Horton, who I seen pass away when I was 15. When she passed away, when I woke up and found her dead. And she died to a methadone overdose.
As Rupert and Ertl grew up, their lives started to follow the same path. Both started smoking marijuana and drinking alcohol before they were teenagers. By their early 20s, they were shooting up heroin.
When Oxycontin got really expensive, I found heroin, which was cheaper and stronger.
Rupert tried heroin for the first time when his heroin-addicted wife left him.
Yeah, I want to see what she left me for, bottom line. It's just, it's a numbness, you know, like, just puts your mind at complete rest. Your heart is just dead. Your soul is gone.
Jennifer LaVignette is an inpatient therapist at Sycamore Springs in Lafayette. Her patients deal with substance abuse. She talked to News 18 over the phone so she would not be seen to protect her patients. LaVignette says people who use heroin experience a euphoric high.
All this dopamine is released when heroin's entered into our body, which gives us a lot of sedation, and a lot of people will say there's just no other feeling like it.
But no matter how much Rupert and Ertl loved the high, they hit rock bottom. Then they came to Trinity Mission Treatment Center in Crawfordsville. Ertl is going on 2 years sober. Rupert has been clean for 3 months.
We have different paths, but I am not controlled by that. I'm not sure, there's always temptation, but same as you would have temptation.
I have struggles every day, but it's awesome now. I have a purpose now. There's hope.
Ertl and Rupert know their recovery is just beginning. LaVignette says after getting clean, heroin addicts can fight health problems their whole lives.
A person who uses heroin is 10 to 30 times more likely to have an early mortality rate, and they're more likely to contract HIV/AIDS. Some of the other long-term effects can be collapsed veins.
20 years ago, Rupert and Ertl may not have had much in common, but now the friends agree there's a reason for what they went through.
I've spent a lot of time thinking about my past and things I've learned from it, and honestly, I really don't regret what I've been through or what I chose to do because it led me to this point.
I've always believed before, you know, that people couldn't change. That as a heroin addict and a needle junkie, that I was always going to live by that needle and I was going to die by that needle, but I don't have to, and I know this now.
If you or a loved one is dealing with substance abuse, you can call Sycamore Springs in Lafayette at 765-743-4400. To reach Trinity Mission, you can call 888-742-1060. Brandon Ertl now works as a life transformation coach at Trinity Mission. Sean Rupert hopes to continue his stay at Trinity Mission for another 4 to 6 months. Then he will try to get his daughter back, who was taken away by Child Protective Services while he was on heroin. Kelly Roberts, News 18.